Alright, ladies and gentlemen, of the appropriate age groups, of course, I am Rhapsody Starfire, and of course, you know what time it is. It's time for what? Time for the literature club, after school activities. But this ain't just any regular literature club here. This is the literature club, the one and only literature club that you need to partake in, alright? The literature club plus the poetry slam, alright? This is the literature club. Alright. So, last time, right? Well, there are like 2 episodes of the first upload of this. So, I asked you guys, to, get the poems down. You know what I mean? Write the poems, whatnot, pick your 20 words. Then we come back here. So, I got mine. Of course, I'll pull it out once Monica asks me, get the reading. So, before she starts yelling at me. Alright. Alright. Got mine locked and loaded. Monica can't say nothing. Alright, we back. Hi again, Rhapsody. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Rhapsody. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into the literature when you're not accustomed to it? Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Sayuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Tragic. Don't worry, guys. Rhapsody always gives his best. Sayori, you're hilarious. Rhapsody always gives it his best, as long as he's having fun. He helps me with his busy work without me even asking. Helps me with busy work. Like cooking, cleaning my room? How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. Like fam, have you not seen Hoarders? That's what your room looked like. And you almost set your house on fire once. Sayori, we are looking at the waifu candidacy. We are looking at your application. The application for being a waifu don't look that good, Sayori. Me personally, your application ain't looking that good. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Rhapsody can become good friends too. See, whenever I'm like voice acting as Sayori, I don't understand. I don't know why. But reading lines do not seem possible without, like, laughing. She seems like that happy and carefree, honestly. How come? You and Rhapsody can become good friends too. Sayori. Hmm? You're telling them too much. Hush. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today. You know. What? Sayori. Huh? Me. The one and only. Rhapsody. That is me. No, really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Alright, put on the cape. They all want Superman out here. Hey. Don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. Let's get that out of the way, but I do appreciate the thought. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise for me. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So, I picked up a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much at all. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Yuri has unlocked the Rhapsody route. Oh boy. Like I told her in the first video when I originally recorded this, if conditions are right and the requirements are met, you too, Yuri, can embark on the Rhapsody route. See, these VNs be thinking that, you know, I'm playing them. No. You are playing for me. This whole shiz goes on around me. I am the centerpiece. I am not going that character's route. That character is going my route. And you want to know why? Because I'm the prize, baby. Anyway, enough about that. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging through... Oh, she's rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from her reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, She seems to be on the very first few pages. Ah. Crap. You see, here's the problem. You know, we're a bit slow on the uptake. You know, we're a bit slow. So, I apologize if I didn't get the hint. That's my bad. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. You know what that means? A Pokemon battle must ensue. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Uh-huh. No particular reason why you want to reread some of this book? No particular reason whatsoever? Yuri's trying to shoot her shot. She's really trying to go that Rhapsody route. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Ah. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. Me personally, I would have just called her out on it. I would have just been like, well, since you're reading this book, right? And you just lent me this book. How about we put these 2 desks together? We sit together like we are in front of a fire. You get the tea set, pour us 2 cups of tea. You know, we sit nice and close together, like as if we sitting in front of a fire. We got our tea, we got our books, and we chill and read together. Of course, the real play would have been, oh yeah, you can read this book, but I only got 1 copy, so here's what we gotta do. You know what I mean? That would have been the real power play. But she didn't want to be too forward. I understand the mindset, Yuri. I understand the plan. I'm with you. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear it. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eyeball symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost sister. Younger sister, to be exact. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's it's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came from nowhere. Like an RKO. Ah, Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Rhapsody? No, it's not that. It's just, you know. The turn really came out of nowhere. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mindset seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants it to be evil, but because if they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly, when you thought you relate to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Now, hold on now hold on for a second. We were just getting to the good part. You don't have to apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Alright? Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. Sometimes, you see, you don't always need to talk. Sometimes you just need to listen. Sometimes you accomplish the most by listening. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to? What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit there, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. Apologies for the interruption. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? Someone told me about people who apologize a lot. I will touch on that later on a later date. I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. Yeah, it's like some type of like childhood trauma or something like that. But then again, it's like if you're expected to do a lot in life and then it's like you don't do it, then you feel like you're not meeting expectations. Therefore, it's like, you fall into this like, in this role or whatever. It's a lot to go over. Cannot do it now at the moment. I mean, here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more in between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kinda difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh! Sorry. I think I got a little distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Rhapsody, that's probably A terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Uh, uh, what are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Ah. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note on where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. Can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayuri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf, torn from a spiral notebook. It's 4:20. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from here where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their own bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? I mean, Yuri's been putting in that work for the Rhapsody route, so I think we should show Yuri. We should show her. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Okay. So, this will be the part where I can read my own poem. So, with the 20 words that I did pick out, here's what I was able to write down. All people desire peace. Everyone desires romance. Life is an endless stream of promise. Yet, we'll reach a point where it will cease. Pleasure that was once born, now shattered by our agonizing dance. Unrequited love resulting in the bloom of a withered fulness. No one prepared us for this banquet of blood. All the while we spend an eternity asking why. The only comfort I receive is a silent whisper. This world isn't fallible. Well, this world isn't infallible. Everything we have is from the mud. We may suffer defeat, however, we shall never die. Suicide is never the answer. Just look at Cinderella and her glass slipper. We all go through a cycle of misery and grief. We also go through a cycle of triumph and progress. It's uncanny how we emphasize the dark times to be infinite, like someone stealing one's heart, which makes them a thief. Life is as vivid as the crimson blood on her coat dress. The love of my life is on a massacre, so vivacious and intricate. One can only understand when it will be their time to sleep in the graveyard. Alright, and that is the poem that I wrote with my 20 words that we had from the other recording. So we're gonna see how Yuri enjoyed it. Also, let me know what your thoughts were about the poem in the comments section down below. How did it make you feel? Did you like it? Did you not like it? All that good stuff. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then it ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me? You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. She's like, you're bullshitting. Well, I know that. I just meant... Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. You can see the smile. She's very delighted about this. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last, yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. All right, let's stop. Let's stop this foolishness. All right. We didn't just like the poem, Yuri. All right, we loved the thing. All right, we loved it. All right. I'm surprised there's not rave reviews on this poem right now. Alright, that's a bit much, but I'm saying it's good though. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. It doesn't matter how long the poem is, as long as it does like its due diligence. Like as long as the poem does the job it's supposed to do, you know, set up a story, paint an image, you know, whatever that task is of that poem, as long as it does it, and it does it well, doesn't matter how long or short it is. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to share something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into Ghost, Yuri? Hoo-hoo. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Rhapsody. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Oh yeah, you definitely missed the mark. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of her past. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know. I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Rhapsody. Ah. Me too. Who should I show my poem to next? Alright, let's go talk to Natsuki. Alright, and then probably after, talking to Natsuki, probably gonna stop and then we'll go talk to the other two. Rhapsody, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. I beg your pardon? Excuse me? What? Harsh much? What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort in it. We all start somewhere, correct? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it. Yeah. I told you that you weren't going to like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling. I apologize. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? Actually, this really shouldn't be that long. I could probably do these other two, and then we get done. This is a good poem, Rhapsody. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I mean, technically I do. But for story's sake, for the plot, no, we don't. No. I guess you're right. But that's why But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Rhapsody. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Try new things, like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah! And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright. I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that, Missy. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. Sayori. This is just a guess. But did you wait until this morning to write this? No! Just a little. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question, Sayori. That's not how this works. It's either you waited until this morning to write it or you wrote it yesterday. So which is it? I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean! I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or, how should I put it? It sounded just like you. See, it's crazy you say that because it's like I know the connotation that he's saying it with. But yeah, that's messed up. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. I can understand that. If I don't eat, some mornings, if I don't eat breakfast, I get cranky. I'm usually in a supremely better mood in the morning if I eat breakfast. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. She's on that SpongeBob tip. She says she's gonna write the best poem ever. And last but not least, we have Monica. Hi, Rhapsody. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Rhapsody. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon enough. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Rhapsody. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That is... I don't like that mentality. But it's like, I kind of understand it. It's like you don't want people to expect too much from you, because it's like if you don't meet those expectations, then guess what? They're going to be disappointed. They're going to be sad. They're going to be upset. Then, you know, people start saying things. Then you start feeling depressed. And then you go through this whole cycle and whatnot. So I can understand the mindset of wanting to keep others' expectations of you low. Therefore, if you actually do put some effort in, it's like, you know, yes, you did it, Dylan. Way to go, bro. You know, you're always pulling through because, you know, they don't expect that much from you. But it's a double-edged sword. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Yuri, the writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple, indirect words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. Never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then, shall we? Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Oh. Oh. You know, alright, I see it. Alright, Monica, I see you. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for the feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Anyway, to think about it, another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayuri and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. And Rhapsody did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Unless, of course, I've come across something particularly inspiring.
which I haven't yet. And Rhapsody liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh! I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Rhapsody appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Oh, brother. Here we go. Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Natsuki, you need to stop asking if everyone is okay and you need to put the referee shirt on, alright? You need to throw a yellow card, a red flag, blow the whistle, something. Separate these two. Put them on opposite ends of the ring, alright? Because you're about to have a cat fight in here, alright? And I'm about to be over here and be like, let's get ready to rumble! Because they're about to get it on. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Rhapsody started showing up. Oh! Natsuki said you're filling the cup! She's coming for you, Yuri. What's your rebuttal? Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! Oh, dear God. Oh, right. I don't like fighting, guys! Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing here. Rhapsody. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true! She started it! Yeah. Both of y'all are out of pocket. If she could get... If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate the simple writing simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Rhapsody. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and the meaning that most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Rhapsody? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? I was just chilling minding my own business. I came in with an assignment. I did set assignment. All of a sudden, these two are about to fight. And now one of them wants me to pick a side for the handicap match. Teddy Long did not say there was going to be any handicap match going on tonight. I wasn't booked. It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course, that's going to be... Can we get Sayori to help? But getting Sayori to help is such a cop-out. Nah, we're a stand-up dude. We're going with Yuri. Natsuki. You're right that I liked your poem. See? Pump the brakes. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri. You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it. And it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. Ugh. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this whole thing wouldn't have happened in the first place. This whole thing could have been avoided. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. This is actually a new development. Okay, so whenever I watched playthroughs of this before, she didn't walk. She didn't take a walk. This is new. But then again, when I was watching everyone else play Doki Doki Literature Club, it wasn't, it wasn't the plus version. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Oh. Natsuki. She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Rhapsody. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said. About, I would never do anything so shameful. So, I beg your pardon. What thing did Natsuki say? Because if you're talking about the padding, I'm not really, you do you, boo-boo. Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Rhapsody, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. That's not what I meant. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. I didn't know we were playing Undertale. Rhapsody! Ready to walk home? Sure. Let's go! Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. Eh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. Well, I wanted your input, if anything. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Rhapsody, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayuri still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayuri. I pat Sayuri on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayuri as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Alrighty, fam. So we know the routine. It's that time. So we gotta choose these 20 words. Alright, so I'm gonna choose mine. I'm gonna make sure I get them down. We had vivacious before. Alright, so I'm gonna go wrath. Inferno. Climax. Philosophy. Insight. Journey. Cage, yes. Frightening. You can do rain cloud. Do contamination. We'll do fireworks. Then we'll do incongruent. We'll do sensation. Do secretive. Do anxiety. Go vibrant. Go broken. We'll do Valentine. We'll do hurt. Then we'll do waterfall. All right. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen. I have my 20 words. You have your 20 words as well. So now we gotta get to the writing. So thank you everyone who tuned in and enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Also leave your poems down below for the 20 words that you picked for the Doki Doki Literature Club Poetry Slam. Alright? And then I will get back to you guys next time. Till then, stay safe, stay golden, and shine bright, my stars. Deuces.